What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhianne Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. And we are officially back. Yes, we are back. Back again. Here we are.
Chicks are back.
It's Monday.
Tell
last
friends.
week. Yep. You just stole my...
You left it there for the taking.
Oh my God.
You wanted to restart.
We just recorded another 5-second intro where I was singing back again, and then she just stole it.
I was shocked you weren't going to repeat it.
I wasn't. It didn't feel right, but thank you for doing it.
Yeah.
We were not here last week.
No.
So no episodes last week, just in case you thought you missed us. You didn't. We weren't recording episodes last week, but we're officially back with a big episode for today's Monday episode. I hope everyone had a lovely little 4th of July weekend, a lovely break without listening to our voices, but I'm happy to report our voices are back and here to stay.
And one is struggling.
And one person's voice is like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah, no, it's so bad. I'm so sorry.
I'm kidding. It's honestly
it's
really not
terrible.
I've actually become used to it.
Sorry for everybody in the room, I'm going to sound really loud, but if I not yell, but project,
yes.
It sounds better.
Singers
when
project.
I talk like this, it doesn't come out at all.
Yeah.
So I kind of have to push it.
You have to push it out. You have to exert a lot of energy to talk, which fair enough. How was your week?
Yeah, I mean, obviously super relaxing vacation.
Let's catch the frick up. How you been? Noah, how you been?
I feel like I lived 9 lives.
Me too.
On this week off, which was nice.
Yeah.
But I think it's because I did multiple things and I wasn't just in one place that I was like, holy shit, I feel like I haven't been in here in forever. I was up at Martha's Vineyard. So nice, beautiful, relaxing, watching the dogs, like up early, going for long walks with the dogs.
The best.
Snuggling up on the couch, watching TV, watching a movie, going to bed early. You know, going to the farmer's market, getting fresh
that's
food,
just delightful.
making good dinner, living that healthy lifestyle, doing workouts on the deck,
Yeah.
And then I just went full flip and went complete 180 to the Hamptons, out with my friends, stayed up till 4 a.m. every night, slept in a basement of the house, so there was no windows. We had we were waking up at noon. We were like, what day is it? Going out, having a great time. It was my friend's 30th birthday. We just we had a blast. We had a blast, but I am paying the price. I joke with my friends because going into the weekend, it's like, oh man, like this is a big itinerary. We got a lot of stuff planned.
Yeah.
Can I even do this anymore? And
You can. You could do it.
I looked at my friends on Saturday. I was like, God, we still got it.
You guys still got it. I mean, how can you not in a weekend like that? You just push. Then the end, of course, you feel like shit, but it's all worth it in the end.
No, we had so much fun. Sleep deprivation, screaming all night, standing. I stood directly in front of a speaker for 2 nights in a row, and I think I have permanent tinnitus is the technical term for it. My ears
Doesn't your sister have?
My ears are still ringing.
Doesn't your sister have that from a music?
She wears earplugs now because she perforated her eardrum.
Yes.
Which I don't think I did because I don't have any sometimes it tastes like sharp pain or nausea, things like that. I'm just, my ears are just ringing. Ooh. There's just a constant, everything's a little muffled.
That could
still.
be annoying.
It's super annoying. All day Saturday. Well, we were all dealing with it. So we're all just sitting around being like, what are you saying?
What'd you say?
What'd you say?
What are they selling?
I can't hear you. It's just brutal. But yeah, no, ears are ringing still. That's tough. But we had so much fun and just, live music. It just gets me.
All the best. What a
DJ.
Nice little summer weekend.
We went to Common Ground on Friday and you just never know who's going to be around when you're out there. More so probably like Montauk. I mean, they're all different. And people really think like, if you've never been out to the Hamptons, all this shit is not close. Like people are like, oh, you're going to the Hamptons? You're going, like people just assume that's Montauk now, which I don't know how that happened because Montauk like never even really considered themselves like fully the Hamptons.
Yeah, people just throw it in together now.
Yeah. And so like East Hampton, Southampton, Bridgehampton, you know, they're all, those ones are all like a little bit closer. Montauk's far. It's a good 30 minutes plus from where we were staying. So like we only did one day in Montauk, but we went to Common Ground. Tinks was there. Emma Roberts was there. Apparently Emma Roberts had quite the day in the Hamptons. I feel like she's popped up in pictures. It's like really all over.
It's really become a celebrity hotspot.
It really
very
has.
Intimidating place.
I know. And then I was cracking up because at some point West and Jesse Solomon came to Common Ground, and you know they're up in the back area behind the bar. But we all love Summer House. Obviously, my friends love Summer House, and it's my friend's 30th birthday. And obviously, at this point, I've had plenty to drink. And Jen was like, "Oh my god, like I really want to meet Jesse Solomon." I don't know Jesse Solomon.
Yeah.
I have never met Jesse Solomon, but he was standing right next to our table, like so close. So I was like, "Jen, come on, honey, let's go meet Jesse Solomon." Introduced myself. He was like, "Oh yeah, totally. Hey." He's probably like, "What the fuck is happening?" I was like, "This is my friend Jen. She really wants to meet you. Like, it's her birthday." Took a picture. It's an adorable picture. They look like,
a good picture.
You know, they look like besties. But you know, it must be such an interesting summer for them because last season, obviously, they were filming, but nobody knew who they were.
Yeah,
because the show wasn't out. Now this is their first summer in the Hamptons. Everybody loves them. I saw the girlies yelling up at West. I was like,
now everybody knows who they are.
Yeah.
So it's like last year was a little bit different. Now they're going out and they probably want to go out.
Totally.
Because everybody knows who they are.
Totally. Everyone was freaking out. It's like, ugh.
Did you see them filming at all? Because I saw them filming at another place.
No, they were not. It was just the two of them.
Oh,
and
okay, so they ventured off for the night.
Yeah, I think it was
the boys ventured off
Friday.
for the night.
Mean, it was late.
Late night. Yeah, that was like.
Like, you know, when they're sitting in the house and they're like, all right, who wants to go out? And like 4 people leave and you just see them leave and then you just see them stumble back in. I think that was
the kind of night.
I think that was
we'll probably see it on next season.
Yeah, I think that was
a late night for them.
I think that was probably more of the scenario, but really just an absolute blast. And when I tell you, I took the most crowded train I have ever seen in my life. No, this was like the Cannonball from Montauk back to the city. Like, oh yeah, it's crowded, whatever.
What day? Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is the problem. I got a bone to pick with the LIRR. You gotta put more trains need to run. Like you cannot. 7 East Hampton, leaving from East Hampton, the train times were 7:40 a.m. Or noon.
Ooh,
there was no
in between.
No in between.
You need like a 10 a.m.er.
100%.
Need a 10 a.m.
Nobody's getting up for the fucking 7:40.
No, but if you are really brave and you almost just stay up, you just stay up and you just go, guys.
We should have. We were up anyway.
Let's just get on the fucking 7:40.
The noon train.
Oh.
Rhea, I've never
seen
like a nightmare. Anything like it.
That sounds like an absolute nightmare.
The platform was so full. There were people in the streets.
Oh no!
And we were up on the edge. The train is pulling in. One of the conductors his head is out the window of the train. He has his phone like this. He's filming the platform and he's going, "Oh wow, oh wow,
oh my god!"
He's going, "Oh wow."
Are they even allowed to pack that thing like sardines?
No,
it has to be a capacity limit.
No, we were at the conductor said we were at capacity by the time we hit Bridgehampton, which was literally the next stop after East Hampton, and we were sardine. Like there was no the people sitting in the aisles.
How long was that train again? Like 2 hours.
Oh my
god!
It took almost 4 hours to get home because at each station it was so full we'd get stuck.
Oh.
Like in Southampton, we were stuck for 15, 20 minutes because the doors would open. Nobody was getting out and people were trying to push their way in and nobody was moving.
No.
And they're like, people are stuck on the platform being like, let me in, let me in.
That sounds like absolute
No,
torture.
It was insanity. I couldn't believe it. There was this group of girls that got on in Montauk. They were so nice. They had like 2 4-seaters. Mm-hmm. And when we got on in East Hampton, a woman and her baby got on. And so they gave 1 seat to her. And then they had like, also it's like you have so much shit. And the LIR, their storage is so bad. Like you can't fit a suitcase on the top thing. So everyone's bags are everywhere. So they had 1 seat with their stuff. And then the other 4-seater, the girls had a giant pile of stuff. So the woman and her baby sit down and like me and my 3 friends are like huddled around the area. And the girls were so nice. Like one of them was wearing a sweatshirt from this bar down the shore. So like we were chatting. And once we got to Bridgehampton and it was just the next stop, I was like, guys, there are so many people that are going to try and get on this train right now. Like you should maybe try and move your bags because like somebody's going to force their way into your seat. And they were like, oh my God, so true, so true, so true. And they moved their stuff. And I was like, I'm going to take that seat.
Oh my God, you tricked them?
No, they were like, that was really smooth. But we had bonded. Like we had already talked. And then I was like, no, because I framed it.
No, fair enough. But you know what?
I was like, wouldn't you rather have me take this seat than some random stranger that's going to bully their way through? We're
true.
Friends. We rode the train for 5 minutes already.
At that point, in my head, I would have offered the seat to you.
Yeah. I mean,
when a train is packed like sardines, you can't have your bags taking up any seats.
And here's the problem. You can't. And people try. And they're not, is the New York way. They're not going to offer it to you unless you ask.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's
They're
true.
not going to be like, oh my God, let me move all my shit and let you sit down.
Yeah, let me like put all my stuff on my lap.
But if you go, hey, is that seat open? They go, oh yeah, totally. And then they move their stuff.
Right. Yeah, that's
You
true.
know?
Good point.
So it's like you gotta ask.
Smooth move. So you got a seat for the ride home.
I seat the whole way
Oh,
home.
nice.
Meanwhile, Lauren, Bridget, and Allie had to stand the entire ride back to the city.
I saw that picture of Lauren and I was crying laughing. It was like my grandmother's looking out the window reminiscing on her life, which made me laugh really hard.
Like, God, it was like you couldn't move through the. No, I don't think, and it's funny because the LIRR they must just get so scammed out of that train also because it's
how they check in tickets?
No, they can't.
No, they can't.
So it's like if you don't buy a ticket and it's that crowded, free ride back to the city.
Yeah, they can't walk through. Imagine a conductor trying to walk through. Nightmare.
He tried, and he was like, he's like, I'm so sorry. Because we were near like the panel that, he's got to press buttons and shit. And he was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He's like climbing over suitcases. Girls are sitting on their suitcases. It was just.
That's mayhem.
It was absolute mayhem.
But worth it for the whole weekend.
Yeah, it was so great. But let me tell you, once we were on the train for about an hour and we had gone from East Hampton to Southampton. That's how long it took. We were like, maybe the 4 of us could have just split an Uber.
Yeah, or like rent a car for the weekend.
It's just so funny where your brain rationalizes money on a trip like that. Like an Uber back to the city, let's say a few $100. I'll highball it. 400 maybe. 4 people, $100.
Yeah. Traffic,
and we're
though.
like,
there's still traffic.
No, there's totally traffic, of course. But I'm just talking money wise. Like in our heads, we're like, oh God, $100. Like we can't do that. Meanwhile, at the bar every night,
you guys
we're
had
like,
a nice weekend in the Hamptons.
Right.
Yeah.
We're like, so why are we so like, oh God, $100 for the Uber?
No, sometimes you have to prioritize comfort.
Yes. Yeah, and that was a regret because that was honestly the most nightmare. And I'm sure there was somebody listening to this that was on that train. It was a heinous train.
Maybe they're getting, if they haven't and they plan on going to the Hamptons this summer, they now are never going to go on that train.
No,
Like,
rent a
after-
car, leave early. Like
Take the
there's so many.
740.
Oh my god, yeah. Get your ass up, get on the early train.
Yeah, that sounds
because
like an absolute nightmare.
I would say like get on the first train or like get on the last train, because that 1204 was.
But that feeling when you get home is like,
But isn't it so crazy? Like Bridget flew to Boston. Like she had to go to Jamaica. Like she got off in Jamaica. She had to fly to Boston for work. And she was like, took me faster to get to Boston than it did from the Hamptons, like back to Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was back in my apartment at 4 p.m. The train was at noon.
Oh shit.
We got there at 11:45.
I mean, you kind of have to expect that coming back from the Hamptons, though. It is far.
100% it's supposed to be, but it's supposed to be a 2.5-hour train.
Yeah.
Not a
that's crazy.
4-hour train.
No, it is almost like sitting in the traffic back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, it was fucking awesome. So much fun. There's so many different ways to do the Hamptons, I think. You can do like the more sceney vibe and wait in those lines and do all those things. Or like you can totally do a more low-key vibe. We were somewhere in between.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Yeah. But just there are some really fun bars out there. It's a great time. Jen was so happy, which is what made like all of us so happy.
A good 30th birthday trip.
Yeah, she just like she cried.
Oh, that's so sweet.
She cried like the first night giving a toast. It's all of us, all her high school friends.
Oh, that's so sweet.
She was like, I'm so happy everybody's here. Like, this is so great.
A great, fantastic summer weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't ask for anything better.
So nice. Be a better you this summer with Babbel, the science-backed language learning app that actually works. Don't pay hundreds of dollars for private tutors or waste hours on apps that don't really help you speak the language. Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons are handcrafted by over 200 language experts to help you start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Babbel's tips and tools are approachable, accessible, rooted in real-life situations, and delivered with conversation-based teaching, so you're ready to practice what you've learned in the real world. One study found that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a full semester at college. Babbel has over 16 million subscriptions sold. So if you are traveling this summer, maybe you have a trip planned, you want to work on your skills so you can have conversations when you're out and about, Babbel can help you do that. Here's a special limited time deal for our listeners. Right now, get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/chicks. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/chicks, spelled BABBEL.com/chicks. Rules and restrictions may apply. You were off in London.
Yes, I was literally in London.
You know why I think it's just because of Love Island UK, where
Really?
anytime anybody gets a compliment or they say their thought or like, really?
Literally.
They're like, oh my God, you look so nice. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm just obsessed with the way they talk. I'm obsessed with London. I've never felt the way I feel about a place that I do with London. Like, we just had the most incredible trip, even better than the first time.
Yeah.
Like, I was afraid going back because we had such an incredible time the first time. I was afraid going back that like I wouldn't feel that magic again, and I felt it even more so. Like it only grew on me even more. Like, it was just such an incredible week. But we had a turn of events 2 days before we left. We went to my parents' house on Long Island, and we were walking to the carnival nearby, and Matt, all of a sudden, he's like, I just have this really weird pain in my back, like really weird pain. And this man never even like complains about a headache. So I was like, should we go to the hospital?
Something's
like, no, my immediate thought, like,
Maria's
no, I'm
first
not
reaction.
kidding. Like, my first reaction was like, should we go to the hospital? Because when somebody points to the certain part of their back, you know it's their kidney. Like, there's just a certain, like, I've had a kidney infection before. Both my parents had kidney stones. Like, I was like, this is all, I'm remembering it all
you're
too
like,
well.
I've seen this movie
I've seen this before, and I don't know, not like the ending. I'm like, oh. So he's like holding his back, and I'm like, okay, you want to like keep going to the carnival or you want to turn around? He's like, no, let's go. Like, let me just walk it off. Like, you know, maybe I'm just dehydrated. So we're walking around the carnival. We're with my sister, her husband, her best friend. Like, everyone's having a grand old time. Like, oh, let's get Zeppelis, some fried Oreos. We're playing games.
Yum.
They want to ride rides. And he looks at me and he's like, I think I'm going to walk back to your house and pee. I got to pee. I'm like, no, you don't. You wouldn't just walk back to the house because you have to pee. You would just pee here.
Right.
Like what's wrong?
Like,
is it still hurting you? And he was like, I am going to pass out. And I was like, oh my God. Like, he's like, I feel like I'm going to throw up. Like, I feel like I'm going to pass out. Like, I need to get back. I'm like, okay, let's go. So as we're walking back, I'm like, I really think we should just go right to the hospital. Like, we leave. This is Thursday night. I'm like, we leave on Saturday. Yeah. Like, I think if there's something wrong, like, we need to go now. And he's like, let me just get back. Let me take a shower, see how I feel. So he takes a shower. He's feeling better. I'm like, okay, if there is any moment where this pain comes back, we're going to the hospital. Yep. Like, I'm not letting you, like, we're going to the hospital. And my parents are like, Maddie, you got to get to the hospital. Like, if you go tonight, they'll figure it out. You'll be able to go on Saturday. If you wait, you're not going to London. So he goes in the shower. He's feeling better. We're sitting on the couch. All of a sudden, he's like, we need to go. We need to go to the hospital right now. I've never seen him in pain like this. So we go to the hospital. In the hospital real quick. Great hospital. Shout out Syosset. Like, fast service at the emergency room. We were the only ones in there. And turns out it was kidney stone. And so they checked where the kidney stone was, and it literally, I think, was passing to his bladder during all that pain, because when they checked, it literally had just gotten to his bladder. And once it gets to your bladder, like, it's about to come out. So they were like, you actually did the worst of it. They were like, it's passing. Like, the next time you pee, it's probably going to come out. So yeah, we were in and out of there, but he was happy to find out what it was, and they were like, you're totally good to go to London. It will pass by the time you leave. And it ended up happening. He was good to go by Saturday, and it was just a whirlwind.
Just like a seamless passing.
Just a little passing.
Just a little guy trying to
just trying to squirm its way out. But honestly,
kidney
like,
stones are fucking wild.
I've heard the worst of kidney. Like, I've heard people have the worst pain, and I saw it in his eyes. Like, he was going pale. He was trying to keep it together, but I could just see it. I could see the pain.
Yeah, my brother's had it. It's a disaster.
Yeah, I felt so bad. I was like, oh my God, now you have to sit on an 8-hour flight. Like, are you sure you still want to go? Like, we can totally, like, postpone whatever. He was like, no, like, I'll be fine. And he ended up feeling way better by Saturday because it had passed, and it was just a crazy 48 hours. But man, like, I posted on my story about it, and girls and guys were like, it is the worst pain you can fucking imagine. Like, it's crazy. So it's crazy how that happens, but I'm glad and happy for him that it, like, he only felt the pain for a little bit, and it passed pretty seemingly after that, because it seems like it's torturous if you have to, like, really wait it out.
People are in the hospital for a lot, like, a long time. Sometimes if it takes a while.
My dad had to get one removed that was, like, really large. This one was a little tiny little baby, and I kept saying it was a little one, and he was like, stop telling everyone it's little. He's like, let me just have this.
He said an eensy beensy little tiny
I was like, it was really, 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 really small. Like, he's gonna be fine. But yeah, then we got to London, and it was just.
Can we backtrack for a second, because I know that the Stones were really the star of the show Thursday night, but is there anything better than your local town's summer carnival?
No.
On a beautiful night.
It's just,
you walk around, you see all the kids having all the fun, you get some good food, you play some games, you laugh.
Oh, it's
you reminisce, you have the memories of when, oh my God, I remember when I was in 8th grade and I kissed a boy on the Ferris wheel for, like, the first time.
Yep, it's great.
a whole big thing. Like, I mean, it's nice as an adult, but the carnival, like, middle school, going to the carnival was
a scene. It was a movie.
Who's going on which ride with who?
Yeah.
Who's holding hands? Who's doing this? Who's playing games?
It's
who's getting asked to go to the carnival?
And it's the beginning of the summer.
Yep.
It's like the big summer thing. So, and it's great going as an adult. We try to go every year when it happens. So we were real excited. We were all
God,
we
it's just
did
the best.
Don't worry, we did get Zeppelin.
Specifically, and I'm sure this was what yours is too. It's the church carnival.
It is. It's my church carnival. The carnival I went to school at. So, yeah, it brings back funny memories, and also seeing all the people walk around, and you're like, I did not dress like that when I was in 7th and 8th grade. No. You know, well, I'm like, oh my God, like what is happening?
Well, that's an entirely different conversation.
Yeah, it's just like in my head, I was like, what is going on?
No,
but anyways,
truly, like
where are your parents?
No, I was peeing my pants. We were at one bar Saturday, and it was kind of a free for all. Like during the afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
there's nobody really checking IDs, like whatever. And we're sitting, and this group of girls walks up, and they're 14. Like they got their drinks in their hand.
Yeah.
And they're 14. Like, and I'm like, they're in like little kitten heels and like makeup and like their outfits. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh, and then as the night went on, there was a back area to the bar, and there was a guy checking IDs. Because now it was like later in the night, whatever, they had to like put the bouncer there. And this group of girls, I don't know what kind of fake ID or whatever they had, but it was so funny. One of the girls turned around to one of my guy friends and was like, ugh, like, isn't it just like refreshing for them to be like checking IDs? You know, it's just so nice that they're like, oh yeah, you know, it's just and we're like, oh my God, you're trying, honey, you're trying way too hard.
She's playing the part. She's like, this is like the highlight of her. She's like, oh my God.
She was like, oh, like I can't believe.
She's a role.
She goes, I like, oh, can't believe this guy's checking IDs, but like, it's kind of refreshing, you know?
Oh my God. She's like, oh, I haven't been checked in years. Yes. Oh, when's the last time you've had your ID checked?
She was like, oh my God, when's the last time they asked you for ID? It couldn't be me. We were cracking up.
That's incredible.
I was like, you know what, girl? Good you know what?
Hey, we've all been there when we were 14, 15. Yeah. But yeah, the drinking age is 18, like, you know, in Europe. So being at a bar / clubby type place, I was like, whoa, wide range of ages.
Right, because then it's also like if the drinking age is 18, there's like 16-year-olds.
Yeah, there's really young, and then
same like when the drinking age is 21, like you're gonna find like 19-year-olds.
And then there's people
too.
in their 30s and 40s. So you're like, whoa, wide range in here. But London is just the best. Like it's seriously like I love it so much. Like I don't.
Did you go to the war rooms?
So we.
Hey Noah.
And you know, I knew you were gonna ask me this.
Well, you were saying you were gonna go.
We were going to the war rooms on Friday because it was supposed to pour. It was supposed to be like raining, and so we were like, okay, Friday will be. Because the whole rest of the week was beautiful. We were like, Friday will be the day that we go into museums because it's going to be pouring. It was fucking gorgeous out. And I was texting, like, you know, because we were with our friends, and I texted them and I was like, okay, guys, like, we'll be ready in 15 minutes. Like, you guys want to head there? And they were like, actually, like, we're going to just bop around the pubs because it's like gorgeous out. So we don't really want to go into a museum. And I was like, fuck, I'm not going into a museum. You know what I mean? Like,
it's not even a museum. Like you could bang
yeah.
down, like,
well, we were gonna go there and then go to the other, like the British Museum, but then I was like, wait, I want to bop around too. Like I don't want to go in here. Like, you know, I don't want to miss out on the sunshine.
It's like, damn, we're gonna let them bop and we're gonna go to a museum.
Yeah, like no, like that can't happen. But I don't even know what it is about the place that I love so much, but I just am so happy there. Like I'm so happy here too, but it feels like attainable, one might say. Like, you know, when you visit another country, it like feels like, you know, I can't describe it, but it's like, oh, I can't live here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But when you're there, you're like, this is just like an alternate, cooler reality of myself. Mm-hmm. Like the cocktail bars and the old school taxis and just that whole vibe is just, it's amazing. It's become like such a special place to us. Like we're like, we should, you know, I want to come back like 1,000 times more. Like I don't want it to end there. Like I will be back.
You think you could live there?
I mean, realistically, no, like not without friends and family. I'm not, you know, we're not just going to go live in London without, people do it. Yeah. But not us. Yeah. Like I need my friends and my family. But if you guys were going, you know, if the podcast moved to London, like sign me up.
Yeah.
I would not be opposed. It's cool. It's a cool place to be able to be like, oh, this is our place that we go back and visit. Mm-hmm. So, just so many like cute shops. The Notting Hill bookshop I went into, not the gift shop, not the travel.
Yeah.
There's two. Okay, so they have the Notting Hill bookshop, which the movie was inspired by, and like the inside of this bookshop looks exactly like the bookshop that's in the movie. And then they have the bookshop that was actually filmed at that they've turned into just a gift shop.
Right.
And the gift shop is so tacky.
Yeah.
And they don't even have good Notting Hill stuff in there. They just have like I Heart London stuff.
Yeah.
But the actual bookshop is a real bookshop with so many cute things in there. Oh my God, I got so many things in there. I got to show you everything
Amazing.
I got. I bought Little Women, like a really cool, like Little Women book is like gold pages. I bought the Jungle Book because my first play, the Jungle Book. What else did I get? A Shakespeare book of flowers because I love flowers. It's Shakespeare's quotes on flowers and how he describes different flowers.
Beautiful.
Notting Hill book bag, obviously had to get that. Some magnets. Bookmark, just a girl standing in front of a guy asking him to love her. Classic. So it was so cute. So many cute shops. I bought these really cute ceramic pasta bowls at a ceramic store in Notting Hill, which was just adorable. I mean, like everything, all the little towns. I can't even describe what's my favorite. Oh my God. First of all, I want to say this. England gets a bad rep on their food. Okay?
They do.
They get because people just think like classic British food. They're thinking the beans with the toast and the black pudding and all that. They have some of the most amazing cuisines ever. Like, if you venture into the different cuisines that they have there, instead of just like their Indian food is absolutely.
It's a major city. Like you can get
It's their Indian food is incredible. Yeah. There's one place called Gymkhana that I've really tried to get into, and you can't. It's like a 2-Michelin star restaurant. Yeah. But like the way that people talk about this restaurant there. So we went to Dishoom twice actually because it was so good. Their Italian food. Best Italian food I've ever had in my life at this place, Jacuzzi. I went last year, got even better. Like, just incredible.
You were raving about the pizza at Ria's.
Oh my God. Ria's. So there's a pizza place, Ria's, in Notting Hill. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Detroit style pizza. Fucking to die for. Wine out of the tap. Like, it's just incredible. Like I just feel like, because I've heard many people say like, oh, I went to London, hated it, or people had wanted to go, but other people have told them, don't waste your time. And I'm like, have you done any research? Right. Amazing cocktail bars. The pubs are so fun. Like, there's just so much to do, so much to see, so many different beautiful parks. What? Oh, you were singing?
Yeah, sorry. I mean, so much to do, so much to see.
Yeah, classic. Yeah. Hey now, you're an all-star. Beautiful picnic. On our engagement anniversary, Matt set up like such a cutie little picnic on Primrose Hill. Spoiled me with some shopping and champagne, which was a lovely little treat. Took me to some of the spots they filmed Friends when they went to London.
Oh, cute.
So he set up a really cute day on our engagement anniversary that was like so much fun and so cute. And then the rest of the week we were with our friends who, had the boot.
He was scooting around.
And let me tell you, we were holding him back because of how fast he could
he's
scoot.
on wheels.
Yeah. He literally the funniest time. Like, every way that we could use him, we were trying. Like, anytime we walked up somewhere, we were like, go to the front. Like you tell them you really have to sit somewhere. You really have to get in. And it worked in a couple places. Did not work at the, where did it not work? I'm forgetting which place where we thought it was like really going to work. And they were like, no, like, no.
They were like, back of the line, Scooter.
Yeah. Oh, Egg Break. So Matt James and Rachel Kirkconnell, they had posted about this amazing breakfast place, and so we went, and it was a long queue, but you had to wait. And and
there's certain things. Before we started recording, she was like, "Yeah, I was looking at flats."
Yeah.
Just gonna throw some.
Wait, so you know how
just the queue was down the streets?
So you know how Dorit picked up an accent? I totally understand how.
Yep.
Friday night when I was drunk, I couldn't, like, I talked strictly in an accent to the point where I was like, I need to stop. Like, I had to shake myself. I was like, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Like, you're being so annoying right now. Like, you can't stop talking in this, and it's annoying. We went to the Connaught bar at the Connaught Hotel, which I heard about for the first time last week. Mm-hmm. And after I heard about it, I saw multiple people on my Instagram, like, they're like posting on their story. And it's an incredible cocktail bar. And they have a martini cart where the guy comes to the table and makes the martinis in front of you, and it has all these different options. Like, you know, you smell which one you want to line it with, the whole thing. And we picked Tonka bean because it's illegal in the U.S. So we were like, we have to.
Wait, why is it illegal?
I've told this story 3 times now. I still have yet to research why it's illegal in the U.S. I probably should. But he was like, yeah, you can't get this in the U.S. And
interesting.
It is. So we had to pick that because we were like, whatever. So we, you know, a little martini with a twist, lemon. It was lined with the Tonka bean smell. It was just delightful.
It says, since coumarin can cause health problems such as liver damage, the FDA has enforced a ban on Tonka beans since 1954. However, it would take eating 30 whole Tonka beans to experience any negative effects.
Interesting. It's interesting that the FDA, like, approves some things and then, like, you know, other things are banned.
Who's going to eat 30 whole?
I have no idea.
Right. It gets like, and there's.
Was it good?
It was amazing.
It does get imported here. Selling Tonka beans to eat is illegal here.
The beans weren't in it. It was just like a
you
know, drip drop.
That's just so interesting.
It was interesting, but it was delicious, and the way that he poured the whole thing, it was a show. It was seriously the best cocktail bar I've ever been to. It was amazing. I mean, such an incredible trip. So many laughs, so much fun.
It says chefs have dealers that smuggle it into the country.
Damn. We had an afternoon tea booked that ended up being the same tea that Jason and Travis had on their podcast, coincidentally enough. That. And what a fun little tea. I actually didn't like...
So cute. What, Mad Hatter?
Mad Hatter at Sanderson. I actually didn't like afternoon tea when I went the first time because it was like 4 hours long and it was in a dark place with no windows. And I was like, okay, I'm over this. This one was outside. Lovely. And it was so cute. Mad Hatter theme, cute little desserts, cute. Finger sandwiches, delicious
tea. If I'm having tea, I want it to be like Alice in Wonderland themed.
It was so cute. It was so much fun. I mean, like... Oh, I cried again leaving. Like, I just love it so much. And I met so many lovely listeners in London too that were vacationing at the same time, which was so cute and so fun. It made me so happy because I was like, oh my God, like, we're in a different country, but like I feel like at home, like running into our listeners, which was really cool. And yeah, I'm trying to think of other like standout things that we saw or did, but we kind of did less touristy things this time around because the first time we went, we saw all like the hot spots. Yep. And then this time we kind of just like dove into the restaurants and the bars and the pubs and the shopping and like things like that.
So you went to Borough Market.
Went to Borough Market, had an amazing Reuben, special Reuben with salt beef, pickles, mustard. Reuben looked
so fucking good. Your picture of it, my mouth was watering.
It was so good. So you know those viral strawberries?
Yeah.
Those like whatever. I mean, like, yes, the strawberries taste so much more fresh. It is crazy the way that things take off and become viral when they are so simple. Yeah. Like, I promise you can make these chocolate covered strawberries at home and they'll taste almost like exactly the same as to what you're getting there. I mean, it's great. It's a delight. It tasted delicious.
Yeah.
Do not get me wrong.
For the experience.
Do not get me wrong. Fucking delicious. Yeah. But the way that, like, I thought it was gonna be tasting magic. You know, still very, very good. Enjoyed Borough Market better this time around because we went on less crowded.
Portobello Market.
I went to Notting Hill like 3 times last week. We took engagement pictures in Portobello. And then we went back again because Ria's is in Portobello. And then we went Saturday morning to Portobello Market and it started downpouring like while we were walking through the market. And then we just had to go to breakfast, and it was kind of disappointing because I had been hyping up Portobello Market like all week.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, we'll do it Saturday morning. Like the weather said it was going to be so beautiful and sunny, and the weather changes every 5 minutes there. Like it's kind of crazy. It'll be like raining 1 second, beautiful sunshine the next second. And so we were like, okay, well, we have time. We have a lot of time in the morning on Saturday. We'll go to Portobello Market, go to breakfast. It's all around the same thing. And as we're walking, it just started downpour. Like not even in a way that you can like still like leisurely walk through. It was like you need to take shelter.
Yeah.
Like
Take cover.
You need to take cover
Yep.
and get out of here ASAP. I bought one little trinket there, which I'm happy I got one little trinket. But yeah, it was just I freaking love it. The parks are beautiful. There's no trash on the ground. Everything's so well kept. Beautiful flowers. I saw the most beautiful flower of my entire life there. Just such a beautiful sunburst color, which I'm realizing is becoming one of my favorite colors. So that was really lovely. Sunburst, like it's a little pinky orangey.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is
like,
that? I was like, sunburst orange or?
It's just like fucking gorgeous. Like, look at this, it's just like a beautiful flower. Like my favorite flower I've ever seen.
Oh, so pretty. Do you know what kind of flower it is?
No, I don't. But yeah, it just brings me so much pleasure, so much joy.
Love it.
Did a little fun little boat ride we stumbled upon in Hyde Park. One of those pedal boats, but you can also do electronic. We did the electronic because we have a guy with a broken ankle. He couldn't do the pedaling. So yeah, it was just fantastic. I mean, I didn't sleep at all though. Like I did not sleep at all. Like
there were some nights where you were texting me pretty late. I was like, damn, it is late where she is. And
I'm like, it's like 4 a.m. and in London, I'm just wide awake, getting up at 8 a.m. to go. Like, I just wasn't sleeping because, number one, I was excited to like wake up. I didn't want to go to sleep because I just wanted it to be the next day to like explore more. And then also, this is a dark thought, but I thought it was kind of funny that being in a different time zone that far ahead is what it like feels like to die. Like, like all your friends are awake. All your friends are awake and you're asleep. You know what I mean? like all, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, that's why I'm like, oh my God.
No, I don't think I do because you are very much alive. You're just awake in a different place.
Well, like asleep. Like I'm asleep and everybody else is awake. Okay. And you're like as I'm falling asleep, I'm like, but everybody's awake, like I'm like, oh my God,
everyone's going out.
Everybody I know is awake right now and I'm going to sleep,
Yeah. It is.
It was funnier in my head. Yeah, I said it out loud. It didn't come out as funny.
No, it did make me laugh.
It needs workshopping. The joke needs workshopping for sure.
It's more just like, that's like I feel like it's more of like a FOMO thing. Like
it's like being awake.
Like what's everyone doing what's everyone doing while I'm asleep?
That's it. Right. That is another way to put it. Just having FOMO.
I'm asleep. What's everybody doing?
Well, like I just was like,
they're living. I'm sleeping.
Well, I didn't want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because I was nervous about missing texts about certain, exciting news that we had received on Tuesday afternoon of last week that we've been holding on to this whole time. And we were on vacation and we just got confirmation. Right now, in this very moment, that we can announce it. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready to announce it?
I'm ready.
Drum roll, Noah. Drum roll. We are going to Fiji for Love Island, USA. We are headed to the villa. Woo!
We did it, guys.
We did it.
We did it. We put that one out there.
Yes.
And they got answered.
They answered the call. We are headed to Fiji for Love Island, USA. We are going Monday, July 15th. We will end up in Fiji on July 17th? I don't know. The confusing.
I don't
We're
even
not
know
going to give the rundown of the dates.
Right,
because
I don't know if we even need to give the rundown of the dates.
We're leaving on Monday.
Yeah.
And confusing because Fiji's like a full day ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a whole thing.
Right. Like we'll We'll be there.
We'll be there. We're going to be in Fiji.
Going next
We're
week.
doing the whole thing. We're going to be going to the villa. We're going to be filming content at the villa. And we will be on After Sun with Maura and Ariana.
Yes.
Oh my God. Literally a dream come true. Like literally the best news in the entire world.
It's insane. I don't really think I fully processed. Like I'm like, we're like, oh, we're going to Fiji. I'm like, we're going to Fiji.
On
I looked
Monday.
at a map. It is so far away.
We are going to Fiji on Monday.
I know, it's crazy.
And Noah and Sarah are coming with us.
Yep.
Noah,
Yep.
how do you feel?
I feel the same way as Fran.
Yeah.
Like I also
it's like so far away. I'm like not even. It's hard to compute.
No,
I'm
I
like,
told
yeah.
you guys that I told my mom this is the farthest I've ever been from you.
Will Noah be okay without his mommy?
Yeah.
Close by.
We'll be his mommies.
Yes. Oh,
That sounded weird. I'm just excited.
don't worry. We'll take good care of you.
I'm so excited though. This is seriously
No,
like
it's
such a dream come true.
It's crazy.
And it was such a surreal moment finding this out. Like I was on that boat in London and I didn't have any service. Like my service was so fucking wonky.
Yeah.
And we get a screenshot from Jordan, our booker, and everyone in the chat is freaking out like, oh my God, holy shit. And I'm like, what is it? I can't, the picture won't load. And everyone just goes Fiji. And I'm like, oh my God, you weren't answering. So
I was in a meeting with my florist for my wedding. I was like, oh, sorry.
well, no, you don't have to apologize.
It was like, I like opened it all up and was like, holy I sat in the parking lot for 30 minutes before I left.
Yeah, I mean, it makes
drove
sense.
away.
I called you up. I was like, oh my God, we are going to Fiji.
Yeah.
We're going to Fiji. So it's gonna be so exciting. I can't wait. It's gonna be super fucking cool. And just
We're going to be putting out episodes from Fiji.
yeah, so bear with us in terms of, you know, the schedule should remain the same.
Yeah.
It should remain the same. We went through it like the way that we're going to record. We should be releasing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But from
Just
Fiji,
let me tell you something. The time difference is hard to compute.
it is very hard to compute.
As
like,
we're recording
okay,
this right
so-
now, it's 3 a.m. or something.
Yeah, it's like okay, so if we record on Tuesday, it's like really Monday, so then we can. But it's just
it hurts your
it's
brain.
it hurts your brain for sure.
It really does. I trying to figure out the whole like when we first got the news, I was
know.
like, wait, what day are we coming back?
Like
It's a whole
it's
thing.
crazy that we're leaving on a day. We leave on Monday. We don't get there till Wednesday.
Yeah, we skip a whole day and then we come back. I don't know. It's hard. The whole time difference thing. I'm not even trying to think about it. I'm just excited to go. Like it's incredible that we were invited. Literally,
We have so much fun.
thank you so much. Peacock, NBC, Love Island USA. Like you guys are the fucking best, and I'm honored that they like
The
are
season of all seasons.
the
too.
season of all season, and they are trusting us with this. Like they saw the call, they answered, and they said, "Girls, we got a whole itinerary for you.
Yeah, they know we're
Come
dedicated.
on." They know
They
we're-
know we've been committed, and I have not like we've not missed any part of this season of Love Island USA. I've watched my dedication to Love Island USA is I feel like everyone's like, oh, jumping into Love Island USA, love jumping into Love Island. I'm like, guys, we're putting in the work. We've been watching Love Island USA from season 1.
Right. And I had to switch my VPN while I was in London.
Yeah.
I switched my VPN. I did the opposite VPN because I was still keeping up every night.
I know that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, it's crazy to wrap our head around, and it's the most exciting news ever. Like it can't get more exciting.
I know.
Like it's truly it's so fucking cool.
I'm just really like I'm more just shocked. Like it just really hasn't it's hit me, but I'm just like I don't feel like until I'm on a plane to Fiji that I'm gonna be like, holy fuck.
right. I feel like Travis Kelce, just a
Feels like
man
a different
with
planet.
just a man with a bracelet
Yeah.
and a
right,
dream.
Yep.
on a podcast.
Yep.
Just putting it out there.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's going to be so cool, and I'm sure we're going to have the time of our lives, and we're going to provide the most content possible to our listeners all over social media, on the podcast. We're going to be doing up and down coverage. Pretty sure, we're going to be doing an interview with the winners right after the finale as well. Like as soon as the finale ends, I think we're doing an interview like ASAP right after. So we're doing the whole shebang. They got a whole itinerary they sent to us. Which is also exciting
because then we get to do all that shit in person, which is so great because we do love talking to the winners of Love Island, and we've done it for USA like the last couple seasons. But they're always like they're either like still there or they're back in LA. Like they're not like in New York. So being in the same place is going to be so great.
At the villa. It's just unbelievable, mate. I
know.
I can't comprehend it. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. And once again, thank you to our listeners.
Into one of the beds.
I know. We got to snuggle up. Thank you to our listeners because you guys tagged Peacock over and over again and, made sure that they saw the video. So happy, thankful for all of our listeners, and thankful to Peacock, NBC, Love Island USA. We are headed there. Can't wait to hang out with Maura and Ariana.
We're going to Fiji.
We are going to Fiji! Woo! Can't wait to drink the water. Noah, how was your vacation?
It's hard to follow that up.
Anyway, Noah, how are you?
I don't want to leave you out. We discussed ours.
My vacation was it was great. Relaxing. I was just on the Cape for the whole week. Nice. Honestly, Love Island was a big part of my vacation because I had to catch up, and then once we found out the news, I was like, all right, I have to catch up like as soon as possible. So I just nonstop watched it, and once I started watching it, everyone in the house started watching it with me. Like my brother's
the
last person you would ever think would like enjoy any reality TV, and he's like so locked in now, like. Everyone, like in my house, like
everybody locked in. My parents started watching because they want to be like caught up to watch us, and my mom is obsessed. I mean, obsessed. My dad like is having a hard time wrapping his head around it all.
Right.
Like he's like, how they say, he's like, how they say they like this person and then they're kissing somebody else. I don't get it. Like I wasn't raised like that. I was like, Dad, you have to take that out of it.
Yep,
it's a show. Like. These people all signed up for it. They know that that was going to happen. But yeah, we might as well just lead right into our Love Island recap. We have to talk about the Love Island recap. And we also have other topics as well. Going to be talking about Olivia Culpo.
To touch on that we missed.
Olivia Culpo and Christian McCaffrey's wedding and all the, talk about that on social media. Lindsay Hubbard announced her pregnancy. Margot Robbie also announced her pregnancy. Justin Bieber got paid $10 million for a wedding in India, and it looked insane. So let's get into it.
I guess we also we have our weekly watch report. We're doing Love Island separately, but
right. Forgot about the weekly watch report. All right, and we got weekly watch report. So let's get into it.
With Zola, you can plan your entire wedding in one convenient place. From the day you get engaged and search for the venue, to the day you send out your save the dates, make your registry, and even taste your cake, Zola has literally everything you need to make the whole process super easy and actually enjoyable. There's even a 5-star app that helps you plan on the go or on your couch. Zola helps couples plan the wedding they really want. With tons of unique features and personalized recommendations based on a couple's preferences, every Zola wedding is as unique as the couple planning it. Their wedding pros are on call to walk couples from question to answer anytime. The Zola app is so easy to use. The Zola website is so easy to use. You can track everything in one place. If you are going to weddings, if you are planning a wedding, you know of Zola. If you're going to a ton of weddings, you probably have some Zola invitations slapped on your fridge right now. It is so convenient. If you're planning a wedding, you can send out your invites, your save the dates, track RSVPs, your registry, everything all in one place. So start planning at Zola.com. That's ZOLA.com.
So we must discuss all of the events of Love Island USA and what has happened in the past week. I'm actually happy that we kind of got through Casa Amor and now can recap the entire thing because it was touch and go for a bit there. Casa Amor got real crazy.
It really did. And also it's so funny because there's I was a little behind. I wasn't behind, but maybe a couple days at the beginning of Casa. And I was like, oh no, I'll catch up. And people were like, how are you not watching right now? I'm like, guys, it's I'll get there. But, it's vacation.
I did respond back to somebody and I felt bad, but somebody responded back to me like, how have you not posted a recap on Casa Amor tonight? And I wrote like, I'm in a different time zone in London. Like and I was like, I'm so sorry. I will post it as soon as possible, which I tried to do. Like I tried to keep up with it because I felt bad leaving people in the dust, but I was in a different, I was ahead, I was behind, I was confused. I was very confused.
Yep.
But Casa Amor got crazy.
Yeah, it did.
Casa Amor got crazy. The guys, as they like to keep saying, really tested their connections.
Yeah. Yeah, to say the least. I mean, okay, first of all, they did give them a little twist, right? They gave them the option to stay in the villa or go to Casa. Mm-hmm. And it was like, I felt like it was one of those things where as soon as one of them was like, well, we're going, they were all gonna go. Mm-hmm. I was not surprised by that at all. I think that it would have been pretty fucking wild if some of them like decided to stay. Obviously, the drama would not have been the same. And that also just shows like they wanted the temptation, and they got it, and they sent those boys 6 new girls, gorgeous girls. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is about Love Island, and maybe it's. I mean, granted. It's kind of a lot of reality TV, I think, in my mind, is like stunning, gorgeous, cool girls go on reality TV, and then you just like don't get the coolest guys sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like I was like, oh my God, these girls are amazing. And then the guys they sent into the villa, I was like, eh.
Yeah. The only one that I thought was Ignacio.
I liked him, yeah.
When he had to do the translation, I was like, somebody please bring him back.
I know.
Please bring him back.
I really hoped somebody would bring him back. But it just felt like right off the bat, those guys completely forgot about everything in the villa. And it's so funny because it's like these guys, they know how the show works. They know there's probably going to be, it's not like they're in the bedroom being like, oh, they'll never find out about this stuff. Like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, they will. You're on camera, pal.
Yeah.
You're on camera.
It's kind of amazing how they act like nobody's ever going to see this.
Yeah.
And
you're on candid camera.
Yeah. And if you like have seen the show before, they're getting the stories sent to them. They're getting the movie night. Like, I was just shocked. I mean, obviously the 2 shocking ones were Aaron and Daniela, because Kaylor was back at the villa sleeping outside.
Crying every night.
Cordell with Dea, while Serena was also sleeping outside with Kaylor. And they were both, sleeping together, getting bitten up by mosquitoes. Meanwhile, their men were back in Casa Amor acting like dirty dogs. Like, right. Aaron was disgusting. And then...
No, and it's not even like... And it was less... For me with Aaron, it was sometimes less of his actions, but just like the words he was saying to her. I was like, this is wildly inappropriate for you to be talking to her like this.
I mean, no, but it was the words and the actions where it was like, he's cuddling in bed, kissing her goodnight, making out with her, doing all the coupley things. And I just was so confused because last night we were texting each other and it felt like after they had gotten back from Casa Amor and Kaylor saw the video and Rob ended up bringing back Aaron's girl, Daniela, they were acting like it was nothing.
No, they're trying to, and I don't like gaslighting gets thrown around the term a lot. It was like those 2, Aaron and Rob, are the biggest makers of their own false reality, and they were pushing that. I'm like, they're trying to convince us we didn't watch what we watched.
I know. I felt crazy. I was like, did I make all this up in my head?
No.
And then Aaron's like, you only saw a 1-minute video out of 4 days, and it's like, if she saw more, it would have been worse. It was crazy how little they showed Kaylor in comparison to what they showed Serena with Cordell and Dea.
Yeah.
They showed most of it with Cordell and Dea. They barely touched on, like, why did they show Cordell and Dea kissing but didn't show
because they're gonna bring the hammer down on movie night.
Like, it's gonna be a full feature film of what Aaron did with Daniela.
No, they absolutely have to, because Aaron's smug fucking confidence coming back in to the villa and being like, immediately being like, no, I know we'll like get through this. I was like, no. You don't get to say that. You don't get to just be like, I know we'll get through this. And I I want Kaylor to like, everyone's reactions I felt were so backwards because during Casa, watching Aaron and Cordell, you were like, oh my God, I feel so bad for Kaylor. I feel so bad for Serena. Like, this is awful. And then when they go back in and you see the ways, like, they acted in different ways in like the extreme versions of each way. Like, Kaylor just went limp and was like, I'm mad at you, but smiling and like not mad, and slept outside with him.
The fact that she slept with him was the crazy. She didn't even one night,
girl, come on.
Oh my God.
And I was like, in her confession, she's like, no, I just like, he has a good heart. Like, I trust what he's saying.
No, she needs to see the rest of it.
He is a smooth fucking talker. When she sees the way he was talking to Daniela, and I don't know what Daniela and Rob have whispered about, but they are like, we're gonna downplay this so hard. Daniela, I don't know, maybe it's because Daniela now is like, no, I really want Rob, so I'm like gonna pretend like that wasn't a big thing.
I don't trust Daniela at all, or her motives. I think she just wants to be in the villa on the show, because how did she jump from Aaron to Rob with like, her and Aaron had such a strong connection that all of a sudden she was with Rob,
right?
And like when Kaylor was talking to Daniela, I'm like, why is Daniela not telling her anything?
Yeah.
Like, Daniela didn't tell her anything of what happened. And then Rob, I'm like, Kaylor, you're pulling the man's best friend.
I know.
Like, Rob. And we're talking about Rob.
Yeah.
Is that even, if you pulled Kendall tell you everything, because that man's got a big blabbermouth who also is so immature. I can't stand Kendall. Oh my God. I've really done. I like Nicole.
Yeah.
But I'm like, ugh. God,
no, I know.
I'm like totally icked out by Kendall, but Rob obviously isn't going to tell Kaylor what happened there. They're obviously going to downplay it. She needs to see the footage. Because she folded way too fast, and once she sees that footage, I really hope it makes a change.
Yeah. And
then we get Janae and Kenny. I was really confused by this. I feel like maybe Janae just, has been, emotional since what happened with Connor.
I think it was fully an embarrassment thing. Like, she was saying, look, I'm just taking L back to back to back. Like, I think she just wanted to be chosen, and that's why she was so upset.
Yeah.
Because let's not forget, the whole time in the villa, she was like, I got a triangle. I got Kenny. She was talking about the other guys. They were totally all options. It's not like she was like crying every night waiting for Kenny to come home. She was flirting. She was having fun. And like, her response to Kenny was so confusing. And then Kenny also, I felt like he just didn't know how to react either. And he just started crying. And it was they were together 2 days, and it was crazy that Leah and Miguel had like the most mature response post Casa. Like, they have a connection, they liked each other, but they were together for like a day.
Yeah.
And so he brought somebody back, she didn't, but he was like, look, like, I still am super interested in getting to know you too. And she was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Like, and I feel like Leah tried to kind of rationalize that with Janae and Kenny. She's like, no, you guys were together like 2 days, like, it's okay, like, you'll see what happens. And I think Janae will calm down, but in just that moment, I think she was just really embarrassed to stand up there and be alone and have him come back. Like, I don't think that was like oh my God, Kenny, like, I thought we were in love. Like, it was like, I just wanted to be picked.
I agree with that. Like, I think it was just the disappointment factor and embarrassment, because they hadn't been together that long. As for Leah, like, I don't love that when she's with the girls, she says one thing, and then when she's with the guys, like, she's like agreeing with them. And it's like, just tell the girls you know what I mean? Just tell the girls the same thing you're saying to the guy. Yeah. When it comes to Janae, it kind of felt like she was like, you know, downplaying Janae's feelings, like with Kenny, and then like, but you know, then not to Janae. It's like, just keep the same energy, because it kind of felt like she was like, you know, if she didn't agree with Janae or how she felt, like say that to Janae.
Yeah.
And then we got Cordell and Serena. My jaw was on the floor. My jaw was on the floor. First of all, this is what I mean by I can't stand Kendall, because what do you mean it's a good idea to give both women breakfast at the same time, Kendall? Why would you encourage Cordell to do that? In what world do you think that's a good idea when Serena is so mad that he brought Daya back? You think it's a good idea for him to hand Daya and Serena breakfast in her face at the same time? Who? None of those guys wanted to step in and say, hey, this is a bad idea? Who thought that was a good idea? Who thought that was a good idea? It was an awful idea.
And then Rob like walked out and he was like, that was not okay. And it's like, okay, I like watching Serena during the recoupling, I was like, yes, like get him. He deserves this. Like tell him how you feel.
When she said his Petey whacker wet, I lost it. I was like clapping. I was like, this is good.
And the reaction from Sunday night, just for me, I don't know. I get the anger. I understand it. I think she's right to be pissed off. I also think she's right to be pissed off that the guys are telling her and Daya the same shit. Like I think that's so annoying. That's so frustrating, especially because, you know, you've been in this house with these guys for weeks. You feel like they should have a loyalty to you. There's no loyalty. I also feel like she must have like a ex relationship or something where maybe like there was cheating or disloyalty, something. Like she is so pissed. And this is another thing where I also feel like the embarrassment factor comes into play, because it took her a while for her to open up. She was closed off. But I can't say that they're like, it's not fair a little to Cordell in the sense that it's not like Serena was all for Cordell all the time since the beginning.
Yeah.
Like there was some major mixed signals from Serena. There was, I'm going to friend zone him. Like, I think it's fine. Then they're, coming back to it, and that's fine. But like that dance challenge was not that, like, that wasn't that long ago.
It was like 2 days before.
Like when she very much was like, and yes, it seems like the night before Casa, they had a conversation. They were much more physical, but it wasn't like that the whole time.
No.
And Cordell clearly got wrapped in to Daya. And I also think that all the guys, and which is why Serena, I think, is pissed, because to Serena's face, they try to be nice to her. But behind Serena's back, since the beginning, they've all been saying to Cordell, I think you're like, she's not that into you, basically.
Yeah.
Like since the beginning, they were like, ooh, Cordell, like we want you to protect your heart. Like, I don't know if Serena's that into you, like the whole thing. So they've had that energy the whole time. So then in Casa with Daya, they're like, bro, like she's so into you. This is so great. Like she's all for you. This is all for you. And Cordell, I think, has everybody else's voices in his head where it's like, oh yeah, I mean, I guess like they've all been telling me about Serena. Like maybe this is who, like maybe Daya's who I should be with. But 100%, he was so disrespectful. I think so much of the physical stuff they were doing, he should not have been doing. Like, that's where I 100% get the anger of like, you can get to know somebody. You don't have to be so disrespectful about it. And, you kiss in the challenges, whatever. Even if you sleep in the same bed, okay. But if you're cuddling, you're grabbing, you're holding, they were so touchy-feely, so all over each other, where it's like, okay, that, like, you're pushing it. You're totally pushing it. It's too much. And right now, I just feel Serena she's just really upset. and it's fair, and it's she's angry. Like, she's pissed off, and rightfully so. Like, she's gonna pop off on Cordell, and he's just gonna have to take it.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't trust Daya. I don't trust her. I don't know how true this is, but I saw so many people on TikTok freaking out that like she was commenting on Odell Beckham's pictures.
Yeah.
And she had time to like watch this show before coming in, so she knew like how to play into Cordell. And I don't love that. Like I don't love that element of it.
I know. And like, maybe it's not fair of us as viewers, but I sometimes really do feel like when a girl comes into Casa and they 100% only talk to one guy and they're like, I'm all for him, I don't want to talk to anybody else, it just feels more calculated.
Right. It's just
because it's like, oh, you don't even want to get to know the other guys.
Right,
You don't
like,
want to talk to any of them. Like, it was like, oh, you watched the show and you said, that's my target. Like, I see an opening there and I'm going for it.
And that's it. And then when it comes to like the commenting on Odell Beckham's pictures, I'm like,
yeah,
that's a little interesting. That's a little interesting. And I felt like she was like smiling when all that was happening with Cordell and Serena. Like, I don't know if it was just editing magic, but I was like, why is she smiling? Like, this isn't funny. So I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all.
No, I agree. I just find, and it's tough, and I feel bad for the Casa girls because it's a super tough position to be in and it's awkward, but it's just not about you guys right now. Like, sorry, like once the recoupling happens and everybody, those relationships, they all need to have those conversations. And when the Casa girls are like, he forgot about me, like blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, he didn't. It's just like so much drama just happened. Like, you need a second. And you're like, I don't know. It's just.
Yeah. I will say,
and they're like, the girls are so mean. The girls are so mean. I'm like, they're really not that mean. They're really pissed off at their guys. And you're involved in that. Like, you are.
They're just coming back at the.
I know it's not your fault. Like, this is what happens. But like, I just can't. You can't expect the girls to fucking love you right away.
No, but I do respect Kayla going over and introducing herself. I think that's the nice thing to do. No matter how mad you are or whatever, like, it is nice to go over and introduce yourself, because at the end of the day, you guys are all going to be sharing the same house. It's like, you have to be best friends with them, and you could be angry with them, but like, going over, introducing yourself was the right thing for her to do.
Yes.
And I don't know if any of the other girls did that. But they were all mad. It was the heat of the moment. There was a lot. There was a lot going on.
And I know it's like, it's also tough in the moment, because I know it's hard. Like, it was very sweet that Kayla did that. And I think it's, when you're the other person in the relationship, I think you're very much like, you can be like, I can't believe she's here, but like, I'm not mad at her, you know? Sometimes I think for the other girls in the villa, when they're on the outside of it, so you're a spectator almost. And you get so pissed for your friend.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I appreciate how in Liv goes.
Right.
Like Liv is ride or die for all of them.
You get pissed
so much so that I don't think she's making any good connections, because she's so ride or die for her friends, that I'm like, is Liv going to make a connection in this place?
And even with Serena and Daya's like conversation, you're something about Daya
she just has this like smirk on her face.
Yeah, it totally is.
And I'm like,
it's smug.
it's like, I don't like this. I feel like you came in.
Right. And I didn't like, she was like, me and his relationship is just like really like different than yours. Like, we were just more physical. Like, I was like, why? Like, what are you doing?
Right. And she's like, not in a sexual. It's like, no, well, she saw the videos. Like,
yeah. And it's also it isn't a sexual. Like, if you're gonna say we're so touchy feely, like that is a sexual way.
Yeah, and I felt sorry for Serena in that moment, because Serena clearly is guarded for a reason, and she's always says she's a slow burner, and like, I totally respect that, and I feel like Daya was kind of just like you said, smug. Like, I didn't like that vibe at all.
It just sucks, because Serena, I think no matter what happened pre-Casa, there were some ups and downs. Maybe she wasn't fully interested in her at first, but I think she had a lot to work through with her feelings, did decide that did realize that she did really like Cordell. And as soon as that happened, it all blew up. And that's really, really hard. And for somebody that is already closed off and puts their guard up and makes jokes when they're upset and uses all these like coping mechanisms when they're really upset, to have that all blow up in your head, all you can in your head, all you tell yourself is like, oh, like you're stupid, like you told yourself, like, stay, like, this is why your guards are up, this is why you're like this. Like, your inner monologue now becomes so like hurt and jaded because you're like, this is why I don't open up to people, this is what happens. And it sucks, and I feel really bad. And I mean, I think she has every right to be super, super upset with just how it went down. And there is a difference, I think, no matter what, when they bring the girl back or not. Like, yes, Daniela is back because she's with fucking Rob, but Aaron didn't walk through the doors with her.
How was there no conversation with Aaron and Rob where Aaron's like, Rob, you can't bring her back?
No, it's crazy.
Like,
I don't know. Aaron's like such a simp for Rob though that like I bet Rob like I feel like Rob's just like, hey man, like I'm actually
gonna bring her back.
Hey man, I actually like really think she's cool. I'm like probably gonna bring her back. And he's like, oh yeah, man, no worries, whatever you want to do.
And then Aaron said that Rob and Daniela had a connection from the beginning. Where?
Yeah,
Rob was with Destiny.
I know. I don't know.
And the other blonde girl.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Well, I didn't see Rob with Daniela.
Yeah, you know what was also super interesting too? The during After Sun, they talked to some of the Casa girls, and I think it was Sydney who said that when Kaylor screamed like "fuck you, Casa," like "fuck you, Aaron," they heard that, and she said that after Aaron heard that, he flipped, like it was like, oh, like done with Daniela. Like it was like, that was like his sign to be like, oh fuck. And was like, uh-oh. So like, I bet you that definitely factored into his decision too. No, but what I was saying, like he didn't bring her back. She is there, but there is such it's an ego thing. Like no matter who you are, it's such an ego thing to stand up there, to be hurt, to be standing alone and be single and have the guy that you know you've just been crying about and you say you miss him so much walk in with another girl. Like that, just that action alone hurts so much that you're gonna get it. You're gonna get upset.
Yeah, I agree. And if I'm calling it now, I think Kendall and Nicole are gonna win this show.
Oh,
I think that Kendall is gonna. He's playing a game right
he
now.
Is,
like
yeah,
I think
right,
he's like,
right.
I'm gonna win this fucking show.
Well, you know who, and there's been some past like UK contestants who have kind of maybe followed the same blueprint that Kendall is, where they pre-Casa, like they're single, but they're a couple. Maybe they have a couple different couples. They go into Casa. And they encourage the other guys that are like in strong couples to, see what happens.
It kind of felt like he was doing that so he can.
You gotta test it. Meanwhile, he's like, I'm not really interested in any of the girls in Casa. Like, I can't wait to get back to Nicole, And now he's back in. He's super strong with Nicole, and the two strongest couples are in shambles.
Right. It seems like it's all a little game to him.
Right.
So I'm sick of him, but I like Nicole, so it's tough. But yeah, I can't wait for tonight's episode, tomorrow, the rest of the week. Can't wait for the rest of the episodes, and we're obviously going to be talking about it all week. And if you've listened to this entire recap without watching the show, go watch the show. Make sure you catch up and find out what's going on.
Should be interesting. They're sending two Islanders from last season back into the villa.
It is interesting, especially because like there's not much time left.
No, there's not. There's definitely not. So that'll be interesting. Movie night. Ariana did say movie night is this week. And then a big dumping.
I can't wait for movie night. Movie night is literally like I cannot wait. I will be seated for that for sure.
And I hope they deliver. Like I hope producers show Aaron like cuddling with her in bed and like giving her kisses on the cheek and
full on making out in the shower.
Yeah.
I hope they literally show the entirety of it.
And he kept like using the word love when he was talking about Daniela. Like even in his confessionals, like, oh, like I love that about her, like, or blah blah blah. It's like with Kaylor, he was like a 2-year-old saying the L word.
Yeah. We'll see. Ugh. We shall see. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be real good.
Yep. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Comparison is a thief of joy, and it's easy to envy other people's lives. It might look like they have it all together on their Instagram, but in reality, they probably don't. Therapy can help you focus on what you want instead of what others have, so you can start living your best life. Therapy has so many great benefits. It is helpful for learning positive coping skills, how to set boundaries, how to really become the best version of yourself. Even, if you're going through a tough time right now, if you have issues with work, friends, relationships, therapy can be so helpful. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. So stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/office today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/office.
Moving on to other topics. Olivia Culpo's wedding. Olivia Culpo and Christian McCaffrey, they got married not this past weekend, the weekend before. Obviously just a beautiful, stunning wedding from top to bottom. Rhode Island wedding, classic, Vogue spread. Thought she looked beautiful. And then there was just mayhem on social media about like what she wore, what the article said. And then Olivia and Christian jumped in and they started commenting. And you know what? Like I have to imagine it's really tough to have your wedding and then you see all the criticism.
Yeah.
I guess you sort of have to expect there might be some if you're doing a full spread. You know that some people have their opinions. Everybody has what they like, and not your style is going to be everybody's style. And then they were commenting to people, and I guess it's hard to just like, not defend yourself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're almost like, you wish that they would just like ignore it all.
Yeah, it's really hard.
It's so hard because it was their night and yet they're seeing their wedding be picked apart on social media, and that's so tough. But at the same time, you're like, you're rooting for them to just ignore it. Like that's how I look at it. I'm like, Olivia, Christian, get off your phones. Like enjoy the moment.
It doesn't help because. And the way they wrote back to, it was a girl on TikTok, Gown Eye Girl, and she covers weddings, talks about bridal style, all those things. It's just like the wording that they chose to use back. You're like, oh well, you can't even really defend that because it's like they're calling this girl like how evil you are. It's like okay, it's really tough, and I see both sides in the fact that, and I think also we're sensitive to it because we are getting married, and it's like, you want it to be the happiest day. You want to look so beautiful. Like you want to feel all the love, and you're starting this marriage and with the love of your life and all those things. And you just want it only to be positive. And the fact that it wasn't is probably really hard. And at the same time, it's like, people are like, well, she's a public figure. Like, we can say what we want. Like, no, I get that. And I do kind of think if you're Olivia and you're doing a full Dolce & Gabbana wedding, you kind of have to assume some people are going to be like, oh, she worked for Dolce & Gabbana.
Yeah.
Like, Dolce & Gabbana is controversial. It is. Like, those two guys have said some shit.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be some people being like, oh, we didn't really like that she worked for Dolce & Gabbana.
You're gonna have that, and also just there's a reason why people pick different wedding dresses.
Yeah.
Because everybody has their own style.
Yep.
And some people are going to like your style and some people are not going to like your
have
style.
To accept
and you
that
have
people
to,
are like, there's going to be people out there that don't like your dress.
100%. And you just have to love what you love and be, solid in yourself and your husband and your guys' choices for your wedding day.
Right.
Because you can't have people bringing you down. You just can't. You got to say, fuck you. I loved it. Doesn't matter what you think. You could not like it. Cool. I really loved it.
Right.
Which I think is like almost like for Alex Cooper's wedding and her Vogue spread came out a month after she got married.
Yeah.
Which was probably really fantastic for her because she was able to just like really be in the moment and not have any pictures posted whatsoever and just like fully have that happiness. And then a month later, she posts the spread and she was able to like bask in all that for, a little bit. And, it's a Vogue spread. And people are going to have comments on it.
Yeah.
And it does suck when you say, because they have feelings. Like they are going to get their feelings hurt. Like just because she's in a Vogue spread doesn't mean like she's not a human being. Like she's a human being who had her wedding and is going to get her feelings hurt by people saying that they don't. I think there's a difference between saying you don't like someone's dress because I think it's, everyone has their own style and their own taste. And then like just like picking someone apart and like trying to find anything you can to like tear somebody down. I think there's like differences in that. But
yeah, well, this is the thing. Like I think what Gown Eyed Girl had posted was not that wild.
Yeah.
Like I felt like she really was like, maybe the dress is not my favorite. But here's where I had felt there was more of an issue. And I get where she was coming from. Olivia and Christian obviously have their own relationship, but to kind of, it was the wording used in the Vogue article of like how she wanted to look and, Christian likes her covered.
Yeah.
And that's like gonna rub people the wrong way.
It's gonna
like,
raise some eyebrows.
It's gonna be like, so like, did you want to wear a different dress?
Yeah.
But you didn't because your husband wants you to cover up?
Right. Totally.
So,
and then I think people were picking like the after party dress.
Right. So I feel
so
like
they were like,
I feel like also maybe Olivia just worded that in a way like she worded that maybe poorly, and if she could redo that, maybe she would.
Right.
Because it was, I feel like it was surprising. The dress surprised a lot of people because they were like, oh, wow, we really didn't envision her in something like this. Yeah. And granted, like, yes, she does. She always looks beautiful, but that's what I'm saying. Like, and then when I feel like people are picking her apart, there was another TikTok that she commented on of a girl talking about how in the article, she said that she didn't wear any mascara and like blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, now we're just picking her apart. Because look, she's fucking stunning.
She's stunning.
And if she's being asked...
She's literally one of the most beautiful women ever.
Yes. If she's Miss Universe. Yeah. Like if in the article they are asking her, what was your makeup look for the day? And she says it's like, well, that's just what her makeup look was. Yeah. And it's tough because I think sometimes, and I made a joke on TikTok that it was like, a wise man once said, you're too sexy, beautiful, and everybody wants a taste. Yeah, that's why I still get jealous. Yeah. And I felt a lot of girls, I felt a lot of girls had that energy of like, oh, she didn't wear mascara, she didn't do this. Like, of course, it's like, that's just what it is.
Yeah, sorry, that's what she looks like, and good for her. Like that's fantastic. I'm like, good for her. Like she's so fucking stunning and so beautiful that you know what? Even if she got a lash tint and didn't wear mascara, okay, she's not wearing mascara. Yeah, so she's not lying. She's not wearing mascara. I know. And I think the word "pick me" is thrown out way too often for things that are just not pick me.
Right. I'm like, how is her saying she didn't wear mascara? Like,
I actually saw
Jack. She didn't wear mascara.
Jack Mack made a TikTok about it, and he was like, "How is she being pick me. She was selected. Like this is her wedding day.
Yeah.
So she's not being she was picked.
Yeah.
She's already been
picking
picked.
has been happening. Picking happened.
She already has been picked.
Here is the ceremony of the picking.
Yeah. So like which I thought was hilarious. I think the pick me thing gets thrown out for literally everything possible these days when it's just like she's just fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's tough because
she's allowed to be fucking beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody wants a taste.
Everybody, yeah.
But the use of evil in both Christian and Olivia's comments back to to Gown Eye Girl TikTok, I was like, I think once again there is another way if you want to respond to that you can do that without like evil. Like,
yeah, because evil to me is like if the girl made a TikTok and was like, oh, this is the worst wedding I've ever seen.
Right.
Like, oh my God, how disgusting of them.
Yeah.
I wish them the worst. Like, that would be evil.
Right.
And I'm just not sure evil fit the bill.
No.
I'm not sure evil fit the bill.
No.
But, you know.
No, evil was tough. I was like, guys, come on. You can't. And if you're so upset, like, you're so upset that somebody's criticizing your choices and your response is to call them evil, I don't know.
Yeah, and I just feel like it is unfortunate, but as expected, when you do a Vogue cover for your wedding, people are gonna have their opinions on it. That's
exactly. You're just gonna have to deal with, like, at the end of the day, there's gonna be people who look at your dress and they go, not my favorite.
But as long as you love it,
exactly,
you have to love it. And
if
if you are set in yourself and you love it yourself, then you stand by that.
Right.
And there are plenty of people who thought it was beautiful and absolutely fucking loved the dress and wished it was their dream dress. So think about that. Like, if I'm
I thought the dress was beautiful.
It was beautiful. Just I think it shocked people.
It shocked people, and it was maybe a little ill-fitted.
Maybe they could have done a better job at the fitting.
2 cents.
But please don't be evil.
No, it's like, right. I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's just one of those things where Vogue, yes.
And
you want your wedding in Vogue. Vogue is a fashion outlet, and people talk about fashion.
Yes. And I did have a moment.
Like, people look at fashion and they say, oh, I like that, or I don't like that.
Yeah. I want to know if you had the same moment, because I had the moment where I was like, oh my God, what if people rip apart my dress? Like,
100%.
And then I was like, you know what? I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. The moment when I tried it on, and I'm sure you had the same moment where you looked at yourself in the mirror and tears came to your eyes and you envisioned yourself and that is your dress. You will hold on to that moment. You remember that moment and you go, you know what? It doesn't matter. It's not.
Right. I feel like Olivia maybe wasn't necessarily ready for, like, the commentary of, we really expected her to wear something else, you know, like, which is fine, because I think you have to accept that you're getting married. You picked out your dress. You fucking love it. But there are people online who are going to say, wow, I really didn't expect her to wear something like that. Thought it would be so different. It's like, okay, well, this is what I picked, you know?
Right. I also, to me, the worst way to word something is when someone says, I wish she would have worn.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You wish. It's not your wedding.
Right.
You wish someone else wore something else?
Yeah.
Why do you care that much?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I wish she would have worn. But why do you wish?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
You could have said, I wouldn't, pick, whatever. It's a whole thing. And it's when a wedding is covered like this, people are going to have tons to say. And I think the best advice for Olivia and Christian is to just enjoy the moment, as hard as it is. I'm sure it's so hard and they're online but I wish them all the happiness. They seem like, such a happy and cute couple.
It's so tough because it was a beautiful wedding. Mm-hmm. They look like they had an amazing time. So much fun. Like, it's such a big occasion. And
I almost feel like if they didn't respond,
it would have just blown over.
It would have we would just be talking about their wedding.
Yeah.
Without talking about
totally
the commentary around it.
I think we would have been like, oh, like that, she looked beautiful.
Yeah.
dress. Yeah.
Great for them. But I think because this then turned into a big news story,
Yeah.
now it's being covered in a different way than how it was originally had intended, which is unfortunate. And you know what? I'm so happy for them regardless. And I'm sure, maybe for a little moment they got caught up, but I'm sure they're enjoying themselves. And I hope the best for them. It looked amazing. Like, it was obviously fucking stunning. Like, it looked gorgeous. Moving on. Lindsay Hubbard announced her pregnancy, which was in the rumor mill for quite some time. She is pregnant. She will be on this season of Summer House. So I think Carl is on this season as well. She doesn't care about Carl's reaction, which I think is the way to go about it. I mean, she's in a happy relationship and is having a baby. And all I have to say is congratulations, because when it comes to somebody having a baby, congrats.
Yeah.
Like, I there's no reason to speculate or any. It's just like, congrats. I think Lindsay has always wanted to be a mother. Yeah. She's expressed that. Congratulations.
Lindsay's gonna Lindsay. And it's exactly what happened, Like, Lindsay, she's gonna get that Clear Blue sponsorship, and she's gonna make some money, and she's gonna do her thing.
That was wild.
And she's gonna announce it the day before filming starts. Because guess what? Now she's pregnant. She's filming. She's going to have to, it's just, and I was not surprised in that way. And she joked about it online too. Yeah, I'm going to get a sponsorship. So that's the way it's going to go down. Like I said, Lindsay's going to Lindsay, and she did. It's going to be one hell of a season, and that dynamic. I thought Paige's comment was funny because, there was a clip of the end of last season when she was talking, when she was like, who knows, a year from now you could be with the love of your life and having a baby, And
there she is.
Apparently that's where we're at right now.
Right.
Her boyfriend is very private. And, they're keeping it that way. And yeah, I mean, that's the situation. It's just I think, Not Skinny But Not Fat was also cracking me up too, because she had gone on her podcast and Amanda asked, there's rumors somebody on the Summer House cast is pregnant. She was like, oh, that's crazy. Yeah. And so when these rumors were coming around, the last month or so, that people were hearing that Lindsay was pregnant, everyone was like, she just told Amanda it's not true. But, and it's so fair though, but in that moment, what do you expect Lindsay to do? Especially if it's early on into pregnancy, she's not going to be like, oh yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
No, it's
of course she's not going to announce it on the podcast.
Exactly.
There's no ad deal.
So there was also a rumor that she was supposed to be on the next season of The Traitors, and Dorinda, who was on the next season, found out and told producers, and she got recast. And now, at the end of the day, there's been other people that have chimed in, Kate Chesson and other people have said, producers would have found out eventually. You have to go through extensive testing, medical testing, everything to go on the show. They would have known. But Lindsay commented on a post and was like, this was awful, of a post that was like, oh, Dorinda had leaked this. So it felt like she was kind of confirming that that's what happened. But then there was also rumors that that didn't happen. Dorinda didn't do it. So that was kind of interesting too. It was damn.
That needs an episode of its own.
Right,
That's
exactly.
kind of fucked up.
Exactly.
Kind of fucked if she did that. But happy for Lindsay.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yep.
Will be interesting to see this season of Summer House, I think, for a bunch of different reasons.
Yep.
Margot Robbie expecting her first child with her husband. Congratulations to Margot.
Yes.
Had a full packed summer last year full of Barbiness and for the whole year. And now she's welcoming her first child.
She and her husband are so hot.
I love them. I don't know much about them, but when I hear them talk about each other and tell stories, I think they're hilarious. So
I know. And it seems like they do a really good job of they work together, but are still not overly, public and having all these, all of that along with their relationship.
Yeah, so congrats to them.
Very, very
beautiful announcement.
Yep.
Last thing, Justin Bieber got paid $10 million to perform at a wedding in India, and
not even the wedding, the pre-wedding.
The pre-wedding, and it shows. The amount of pictures this man posted on his Instagram,
I love it.
is the most he's posted in so long.
It's $10 million worth, baby.
No, when I saw the pictures, I was like, oh, he got paid. He got paid to do this, and he sure did a good $10 million. I mean, if you have it, you're paying $10 million for Justin Bieber to perform at your wedding festivities.
Yeah, so this is a billionaire's wedding. Justin Bieber was paid $10 million to perform at billionaire heir Anand Ambani's pre-wedding ceremony in Mumbai on Friday. It was a private concert for all their family and friends. And yeah, it's just like, it's crazy how much money some people have.
It really is. Like they just $10 million throw to Justin Bieber.
They were just like, oh, Justin's 10 mil?
Done.
Lock
Easy.
him in.
We're in. Incredible.
So this guy who's getting married is the son of Reliance Industries chairman and managing director Mukesh Ambani, who is the richest person in Asia with a net worth of $123.4 billion.
10 million is low.
That is 10 million is pennies.
Justin Bieber got ripped off.
He could have asked for $100 million.
$123 billion.
That is just how my brain doesn't feel like that's real. That's just insanity. That's just insanity.
Wow.
Can't wrap my head around that. That's fucking crazy. That number is not a real number.
The family has been gearing up for the July 12th wedding for months. I forget this. In March, when Rihanna performed for $6 million, it was the same couple.
Oh my God. I mean, they're kind of lowballing them then for how much money they have. 10 million, 6 million.
And in May, the Ambanis invited their relatives on a 3-day cruise from Italy to France that featured performances by Katy Perry, Pitbull, and David Guetta. So basically, they're just having Coachella happen for their wedding, and it's a full lineup
for a year now.
And this was like if they're paying, it just seems like it's going up in increments, right? Like $6 million for Rihanna for like a party in March, $10 million for Justin Bieber for, I mean, pre-wedding. Who's gonna be wedding?
Who's performing at their wedding?
Beyonce.
That was my
Taylor
first thought. I don't know if she has time.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I'm just trying to think of who could be like more than $10 million because it's got to go up in price.
Yeah, I would say Beyonce.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
That is insane. That is insane. And it looked incredible. But, you know, everybody over here is like, hey, Justin.
Yeah, it was just nice to see Justin singing.
Yeah, happy that you're singing. But, you know, all of us, we don't have $10 million to give you.
He's like, look, I'll show up for $10 million.
We don't have $10 million to give you, but happy to watch you sing. We're really happy for you.
Agreed.
And that wraps up the topics.
The Weekly Watch Report is brought to you by Coors Light. The perfect summer playlist may be elusive, but one thing for sure, it gets better when it's enjoyed with an ice-cold Coors Light. Because music plus Coors Light equals chill amplified. Coors Light is the only choice when you're ready to choose chill. When you embrace a chill mindset, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a Coors Light. There was multiple times over this past week on vacation, sitting outside. I got the playlist going, listening to my favorite music, and you just crack open an ice cold Coors Light. It's delicious. It's great. So amplify your chill this summer with Coors Light. Choose chill. Choose Coors Light. Go to CoorsLight.com/summermusic to see how Coors Light can amplify your summer. And be sure to keep an eye out on Coors Light's social handles all summer long for more exciting announcements. And always celebrate responsibly from Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
All right, welcome back to the Weekly Watch Report, where we talk about the things we watched this week. Weekly Watch Report on Monday. 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 Love Island, USA. That's really all I watched.
I know you watched something else. I don't know how much you watched of it, but you hated it.
Oh, The Bear.
Yeah.
I hated the first episode.
Yeah. Did you watch past that?
I'm on episode 5.
Okay.
I don't love it.
Okay.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, I can't fucking fake it. I'm not going to sit here and fake that I love this season of The Bear.
Mm-hmm.
I hated the first episode.
I couldn't tell if I thought the first episode was like super annoying or like really fucking cool. I was torn. torn.
I think they're trying too hard. I think they won all these
but
awards.
It was like they only did that for the first episode.
Yeah, but I think
know?
like trap me into the first episode from the season. Like, what are we doing? They're trying too hard because they win all these awards, and now they're like, "Ooh, we're so fancy and artsy. Let's get all a little artsy with our camera work and this silent."
I was
film.
a little confused for a lot of that episode. I will say
the whole season's kind of confusing because
the whole
season is flashbacks.
Give us the now. What happened with the restaurant?
Season is in flashbacks.
No, there's.
I mean, not the whole season.
I mean, but there's a full episode that is
flashbacks and kind of like where are we? What is happening?
No, it is hard. Timeline wise, I have been confused multiple times of like, okay, when did this happen?
I feel like this whole season is just giving context to the first 2 seasons, and then when you finish the season, it's like nothing really happened. Like we just know more.
Don't ruin anything.
I'm just like, I want to know what's happening with the restaurant now.
Yeah.
And what happens now? I'm over it. I don't need it.
But I feel like that is trickled through.
Yeah, no, it is. Don't get me wrong. Like, there are episodes that are fully like flashbacks that were very good. Like the Jamie Lee Curtis episode, great episode. There are episodes. So some
I just watched that one. I thought that one was so good.
Yes, some of them are like standalone great episodes, but just as a whole season, it feels like all over the place. They're trying to be like, like the first episode, it's like, all right, really, like you only have 10 episodes. You're gonna take one full episode just to be artsy and like have no dialogue, and it's like, I don't know. It just feels like after the whole season, it's just like, oh, to be continued, because it's like, yeah, we didn't learn anything.
Yeah, because you wasted time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I will say I kind of disagree in the sense that I like a lot of the flashbacks because I think that is what's happening. I think you do get a lot of context. I think what was interesting about like the first couple seasons is you were kind of confused about what their family dynamic was. Like you didn't really know their history. You didn't really know what they went through. I mean, the brother, you didn't like, you had no idea really what happened for a while. So I do kind of like that you get bits and pieces slowly of telling the story of like, well, this is why, Sugar and their mom are the way they are, and they're having those conversations, and this is why like they even ended up in the restaurant in the first place, and this is like, so I don't know, I like that. I think it's like, filling in a lot of I think they're filling in a lot of gaps, and that's still like telling enough of a story for me.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Like I thought it was good, but definitely like as a whole season, like not my favorite, like out of the 3.
Yeah. I'm only through 8. I've watched 1 through 8.
Yeah, I would give it like a C.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, it's whatever. I'll still watch. Love Island USA, obviously A+. And I watched 3 movies on the plane coming home, but they're all A's, obviously. Notting Hill, Parent Trap, Bridget Jones' Diary.
Yeah, the trifecta, the British trifecta.
Yeah, that's what I hit on the way home. And yeah, I didn't watch really anything else.
Yep.
Didn't really have time to do that.
I'll give The Bear B+. I watched the first 4 episodes, I'm not done yet, of the DCC, the Dallas Cheerleaders.
I download that. I gotta watch that.
It is fascinating.
Yeah,
it really is.
Watch that.
Because that is just a world where like these poor girls, and of course like, they want to be there. It's their dream. They want to be on the team. But the things that they go through and deal with to like maintain being on this team is wild. Mm-hmm. And the commentary that's just like, oh, well, it's okay because it's the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. It's like these women who run the team, like they're looking at these girls and like, she looks like she really, packed on a few pounds this offseason. Like, I don't know if she's going to make the team.
It's crazy.
Like, it's crazy. So, and the girls are so sweet. They're all so sweet. So I watched 4 episodes of that. It's pretty good. I'll give that a B. Mm-hmm. I watched A Family Affair, the Zac Efron, Nicole Kidman movie on Netflix. It was cute. Look, like, Zac Efron and Nicole Kidman don't have Anne Hathaway, Nicholas Galitzine type of chemistry. And I just felt like this movie was way more like Joey King focused, and it felt like Nicole and Zach were more like supporting characters to her story. And it was cute, it was funny, harmless. Like, it wasn't, there were some parts where I was like, oh, not a lot of character development for Zach and Nicole. It felt like they just like they like hook up and then they're just kind of like, it's like, where did you don't really see them like talk that much, I guess, is really like, it's like, okay, where's really the connection? So it was fine, it was cute. I'll give it like a C. Totally fine. And that's all I watched. Love Island USA obviously gets a fat A.
Yeah, Love Island USA, A+. Like I was saying earlier, I think it's the best reality TV I've ever watched. I'm trying to think of like better seasons. Like,
you don't even have to think about it.
And the thing was, my sister, because she was caught up, so she didn't need to catch up. She started watching season 5 UK, and I'm like, I don't know. I think that this is like better.
No, I mean, it is
different. Yeah,
and it just feels like it's very much in the conversation right now.
It's
like,
in the moment.
Like the amount of people I overheard this weekend at like different locations around, like out to dinner or lunch or just walking around or on the train, like talking about Love Island. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
And people be like, oh my God, don't say anything. I haven't watched Casa Amor yet. Like,
I feel like this is how it feels when you're in the UK.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Totally.
I was watching UK live and I was freaked out. I was like, how am I watching this on the TV right now?
Right.
Like, this is weird.
Yeah, so I'll give that an A+. The Bear, I finished the whole season. I'll give that a B-. Like, still great TV and great characters and everything. I just think it was kind of like all over the place. But maybe they'll bring it back next season. I'm caught up on The Boys, the last 2 episodes. I'll give that a B. That show's picking up. And then I watched the finale of Dark Matter, which was terrible.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Like, it really,
what a fall!
They took a steep decline.
So
like,
that was based off a book, yeah?
I don't know, was it?
I think it is.
I don't know.
So maybe it's just like... But
it just was like the dumbest thing ever. It was so stupid how they wrapped it up. I don't want to spoil it, but I'll give that a C. Like, it started off like maybe A-, and it, at least in my opinion.
Damn.
But yeah, that's all I watched. Like, Love Island, I literally spent like 20 plus hours.
Yeah, it takes up your life. I'm glad that you got all caught up though.
Oh, I was like, I need to get caught up.
You need to.
We come back.
Is it the Joel Edgerton, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it is based off a book.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they did in the book, but
yeah.
All right.
I mean, guys, at the end of the day, we're just locked into Love Island, you know?
And probably for the next 2 weeks, that'll be the case because we're going to Fiji.
Agreed.
Yay! All right. That wraps it up. And that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. Thank you so much for watching and listening. So happy to be back. We love you guys, and we'll talk to you on Wednesday.